Welcome to another 2-minute travel tips. I'm Brittany with Family on Standby. I kicked Nick out of this video today because we're talking about flying while pregnant. I've made it through flying 2 pregnancies. I've flown quite a bit, both pregnancies. I'm 38 weeks pregnant right now, but I've flown all throughout this pregnancy up until about 35 weeks. And to be honest with you, I haven't really changed a whole heck of a lot. There are some minor adjustments that I've made and some things that can make your life easier, but it's really not as scary as a lot of people say. You can generally kind of do things pretty much the same as when you're not pregnant, but it'll just make your life a little bit easier if there are a few things you can kind of think about before you actually are flying. So let's just jump into it. The first thing I would say is timing. This is one of the biggest things, and this can mean a few different things. So timing as far as trimester goes, most people are going to tell you the best time to fly is during the 2nd trimester. I found that to be pretty true, and that's when I've usually done a lot of my traveling. The 1st trimester, you're kind of sick, you might have morning sickness or exhausted. I was definitely on the exhausted side of things, going to bed at like 8 p.m. Not an ideal time to travel. Then by the 2nd trimester, you feel a little bit better. And then the 3rd trimester, you might be a little uncomfortable again. So just keep this in mind. If you can travel during the 2nd trimester, it's typically a little bit better. It's kind of the sweet spot of when to travel, which is not to say you can't travel in any trimester, but if you can plan around your 2nd trimester, that's kind of the best time to go. Something that a lot of people don't think about too often when they're booking their airfare is time of day. If you, for instance, get morning sickness at night, maybe think about booking your flight in the morning so that you're a little bit more comfortable. If you feel really crappy all day or you feel great all day, then don't worry about this. You can pretty much fly whenever. Last thing to say about timing is to check with your doctor and with the airline. So airlines will have their policies about how long you can travel, and doctors typically have their restrictions as well. Most airlines and most doctors are going to say it's fine to travel up until 36 weeks, but there could be some differences. Your doctor may have a different policy or something like that, so just make sure you check with them. Do yourself a favor there so that you don't wind up booking everything and then have to cancel, because that's just, no one needs that kind of stress. Another thing to think about before you travel is what you're going to wear. So pregnancy is uncomfortable, we all know that. Wear something that you find comfortable. Simple as that. I typically wear leggings and a flowy dress of some kind, but you do you, whatever you think is comfortable, you can rock it. As Marie Kondo would say, wear what sparks your joy. Okay, that was cheesy, but it's also true. You're pregnant, you can get away with it. You wear what makes you comfortable. The only thing that I would say when it comes to what to wear is compression socks. So there were actually 2 things that my doctor told me that I should do before flying, and they were really her only 2 restrictions, but compression socks and baby aspirin. When you're pregnant, you have just a higher tendency for blood clots, so typically they just tell you this to be on the safe side, but wear compression socks. It just helps with the blood flow, and then I usually take a baby aspirin because that also helps with blood flow, but check with your doctor on that. I'm no doctor, so just make sure you're in the clear before you take medication or wear compression socks or whatever. And then that brings me to my next point, which is the seats we all know are not comfortable. If you can, try to book something with extra leg room. A lot of airlines have extra leg room seats, or like a premium cabin seat. Sometimes there's different sales going on, so if you find a good sale, you can potentially get a premium cabin seat, which will give you a little more room. If there's no good deals out there, I would say just book an aisle seat. You're going to be getting up a lot. We all know this, probably 90 times during the flight, either walking up and down the aisles or using the restroom. You don't want to be crawling across your neighbor, pregnant, even if it is who you're traveling with. It's not very comfortable. So book an aisle seat. It'll just make your life a lot easier. And no matter what seat you have, we all know the seats aren't terribly comfortable. So bring a pillow. It's something that I don't typically bring when I'm not pregnant, but it can make the world of difference when you are pregnant. Oh, nice throw. You missed. He tried to throw a pillow at me and it didn't work. But So if you have a small pillow, just bring it. It'll make a big difference and just make you a little bit more comfortable on the flight. Now that you've picked your ideal spot on the plane and you have your wardrobe nailed down, it's time to think about the actual day of travel. One of the things that you may or may not have is food aversions or morning sickness. If you have either one of these, or even if you don't, a good idea is to bring a snack with you, even if it's something small. Some things that I usually take with me are cheese sticks, breakfast bars, those little things of hummus and crackers are good. Things that are easy on the stomach and that you know that you're gonna like. They just make it easier because if you potentially get to the airport late and you're rushing, you don't wanna have to be scatterbrained looking at all the menus and not liking any of your options. This way you'll have something ready to go and something that you know that you'll like. Don't worry, because if you bring food, it's gonna be totally legal to take it through TSA. Just keep it within the liquid guidelines. It might take a few extra minutes to go through screening, so I recommend just getting there early to make it easy on yourself. But I'd say get there early anyways, even if you're not taking snacks with you. It's just gonna be a lot less stressful. Usually we're like the get to your flight 30 seconds before they shut the door kind of people. But when I'm pregnant, I like to get there well in advance just so the day goes a little smoother, just so you can casually walk to your gate. You don't wanna have to be rushing around. That just sets the whole tone for the day. So get there early and just make it easy on everybody. Speaking of airport day, make sure you travel light. And I'm gonna make Nick come in here to talk about this one because it involves him.
Travel light. I'm your Sherpa.
A lot of times the people you're traveling with are gonna have to pick up a little of the slack because you're pregnant.
Pajamas. And you're making me...
He's in his pajamas. He didn't know I was gonna call him in here for this.
You're making me talk about packing light.
We try to pack light as it is, but even more so while I'm pregnant because I can't carry a whole lot. Look at me. I'm like, 30.
And look at me. I'm doing the sorority squat.
Yeah. So a lot of times the people you're traveling with are gonna have to carry a lot of this stuff. So just do them a favor too and pack light, because it's not only gonna help yourself, but it's gonna help your travel buddies.
And nothing changes. I carry everything anyway. I'm going back behind.
So wait, I'm not done with you yet. When I'm pregnant, we try to fit all of our clothes, the two of us and then Olivia's clothes, she's 2.5, into one bag, so that we're not, having to travel with a ton of stuff. And then he only has to carry like half of his usual load. Okay, you can go now.
Okay.
Bye. Okay. Actually, come on back here.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, because I think that's about all my tips that I have for you. But I did want to bring Nick back. I wanted to give a little family update. As I said, I'm 38 weeks pregnant.
She's pregnant here.
Yeah.
That's a pregnant
You can't tell. But we're about to have our baby. And I don't know what our schedule looks like for the rest of our videos. We may have one every week, and you
Not
might
a baby
not.
every week.
No, oh God, no. Just one
video
baby
every
for
week,
us.
to be
One baby for us. We may have one video per week as usual, but we also, after the baby's born, we might take a couple weeks off to do the whole newborn thing. Give ourselves a little bit of a break. We'll probably be total zombies, so who knows? The next video, you might be like, yikes. It's scary.
Yeah. Dude, you're like way over on your 2-minute travel tips.
I know. Dang.
You failed again.
I thought this was gonna actually be a 2-minute travel tips because honestly, there's not a whole ton that I changed during pregnancy. So I was like, I'm gonna whip right through this list. But this video is taking forever, so we're gonna wrap it up. Our next video, you should see a family of 4 here. We'll probably do more of an update with the 4 of us.
Yep.
And we're also excited because we'll be able to show you kind of like version 2 of this, which is traveling
with the newborn.
With the newborn.
And a toddler.
So you'll see the pregnancy and then you'll see the newborn.
All right, say goodbye.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Nick thinks people still use Pinterest.
They do.
If you're one of those
people.
There
are dozens of us. Literally dozens of us.
If you use Pinterest, follow us on there because we are on Pinterest. But most importantly, subscribe because we have a lot of family adventures coming up and it's going to be a good time.
Yes. Subscribe, ring the bell.
Yep.
Okay. We're done.
All right.